Hi dear students, welcome to online lecture series Department of Chemistry, KTHM College in Nasik. So student, in our previous lecture we studied the green synthesis of a few important chemical compound. We studied the preparation of adipic acid, catechol, then preparation of furfural, methyl methacrylate, etc. etc. Now in the present lecture we will talk about the applications of new methodology in the synthesis of a chemical compounds. Application of new methodologies in a synthesis of a chemical compound. Very first of all, we will talk about catalysis by coordination compound. Catalysis by coordination compound. Catalysis by coordination compound, and more particularly we will talk about the use of organometallic compound, especially organometallic compound. Organometallic compound, it will be our A part. Use of organometallic compound. We know that organometallic compound are those in which the metal is directly bonded to carbon atom, are known as organometallic compound. Various organometallic compounds means various coordination compound belong to the organometallic compounds, and they act as a better catalyst for the convenient conversions. So the first one is asymmetric hydrogenation. First example is asymmetric hydrogenation of carbon double bond carbon. Asymmetric hydrogenation of carbon double bond carbon. This is the reaction for the synthesis of 5-L-dopa, which is used for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. This is a reaction for the synthesis of L-dopa, which is a drug used for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. In fact, this reaction uses rhodium first catalyst containing a chiral triphenylphosphine as a ligand. This reaction uses rhodium first catalyst containing chiral triphenylphosphine catalyst. So this rhodium first catalyst acts as a important organometallic compound for the corresponding conversion. It was our first example. Our second example is hydrogenation of olefins. hydrogenation of olefins. The hydrogenation of olefin can also be carried out by using a rhodium first catalyst, more particularly Wilkinson's catalyst. This reaction is catalyzed by Wilkinson's catalyst. We can go through the particular example. Suppose this is your olefin, and this olefin is then treated with H2. The catalyst will be the PH3 thrice RHCl. This is your Wilkinson's catalyst, and we will get corresponding ethane as a product. So this is the rhodium first catalyst. This is our Wilkinson's catalyst. Our third example is the hydroformylation of olefins. Third one. Hydroformylation of olefins. In this case also, we are using a organometallic catalyst. Suppose if we took a 2 moles of CH double bond CH2, and when we treat with carbon monoxide and hydrogen, the catalyst will be the CO2 and CO. It is 8 times. We will get CH2, CH2, C double bond OH. It will be our one product, and along with that, the another product will be the CH2, one OCH3 group is here, and another formyl group is here. So we call it as a hydroformylation reaction, and this hydroformylation reaction is catalyzed by this catalyst. It was our third example. Now our fourth example is the synthesis of acetic acid. Fourth example, synthesis of acetic acid. In this case, the methanol is converted into the acetic acid, and for that purpose again rhodium first complex is used as a catalyst. Rhodium first complex is used as a catalyst. Reaction is in this way: CH3OH methanol. When it is treated with rhodium complex, the complex will be the RH CO 2 times, then I2, and overall minus charge will be there. So this is the rhodium first complex. It converts the methanol into corresponding acetic acid. So it was our fourth example. You just note it so that we will proceed to further example. Our fifth example is the synthesis of acetaldehyde. Fifth example. Synthesis of acetaldehyde. Alkenes are converted into the acetaldehyde by using a palladium catalyst. Alkenes are converted to acetaldehyde using palladium catalyst. This process is known as a Vacuous process. This is our Wacker's process. Reaction is in this way. This is an oxidation reaction, obviously addition of oxygen. PdCl4 2 minus in presence of a copper second. We will get the formation of corresponding acetaldehyde. This is our fifth example. Now our next means the sixth example is a synthetic gasolines. Our next example is a synthesis of a gasoline. Sixth example. Synthesis of a gasoline. Here the methanol is converted into the corresponding gasolines, means the hydrocarbon, by using a zeolite as a catalyst. Methanol is converted into gasoline using zeolite as a catalyst. Methanol, when treated with zeolite, for example ZSM 5, and we will get a corresponding CH2 N times plus N number of water. We have to use the N number of methanol, and this is your gasoline, means the hydrocarbon. In this reaction, this zeolite acts as a catalyst for the dehydration particularly, and it gives carbene as an intermediate. In this reaction, zeolite acts as a catalyst for dehydration to give carbene. Carbene is nothing but the divalent carbon with 2 electrons. Carbene is a very reactive species. Zeolite also stabilizes the carbene during the course of reaction. Zeolite stabilizes carbene. In this reaction, the carbene is inserted in between the carbon and hydrogen bond. In this reaction, carbene is inserted between carbon hydrogen bond. Suppose this is your methanol, hydrogen CH2OH. Carbene is inserted in between this carbon hydrogen bond. Suppose in the first step, ZSM 5 zeolite, which generates the carbene CH2, it gets inserted over here, and we will get the formation of HCH2. This is inserted one, and OH. Again in the second step, again ZSM 5, insert again one more carbene, so that we will get CH3, CH2, CH2, OH, and in this way it will be the continue further, and we will get the formation of corresponding hydrocarbon. So it was an account about our sixth example, synthesis of a gasoline. So you just record this data. Our next example is a reduction of a water gas. Water gas is nothing but the mixture of a carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas. Reduction of water gas to corresponding hydrocarbon. Seventh example. A reduction of water gas. Water gas is reduced to the corresponding hydrocarbon by using a number of transition elements such as iron, cobalt, nickel, etc. etc. Water gas, that is the mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, is reduced to hydrocarbon by various transition elements such as nickel, iron, cobalt, etc. Reaction is in this way: CO plus H2 plus H2 excess, which is used as a reducing agent. Here nickel catalyst or iron catalyst or cobalt catalyst will be used, and we will get the mixture of hydrocarbon, and water will be the byproduct. This mixture is our water gas. By distilling the mixture of a hydrocarbon, we can separate the gasolines from the diesel. So what are the use of a catalyst, or you can say the advantage of a use of a catalyst? So the use of catalyst has the following advantages. The first advantage is obviously related to the atom economy. 100% atom economy can be achieved. First advantage, 100% atom economy can be achieved. Secondly, we are interested to save the energy, and therefore by using a organometallic compound as a catalyst, we can reduce the energy consumption. Energy required for the reaction can be saved. Next, third thing is output, that is yield of reaction. Maximum yield can be obtained. Better yield is obtained. Fourth one, selective reaction product can be obtained. Selective reaction product can be obtained because we may have a byproduct. So by using such a type of catalyst, we can prepare a selective, means a desired product only. So selective product are obtained. We can have many more reactions related to this one. Suppose if we are interested to perform a reduction, and for that purpose if you use a nickel catalyst, we will get a corresponding reduced product CH3, CH2, CH3. Second example will be the partial reduction. Partial reduction is achieved by using palladium suspended on barium sulfate and slightly poisoned with quinoline, and we will get CH3, CH double bond, CH2. This is a complete reduction, this is a partial reduction. Alternatively, we may have many more reactions. These are just representative reactions. So student, it was an account about the first methodology, that is the use of a catalysis, particularly organometallic compound. So just record this data. Now the second way of catalysis is photocatalysis. Our first way of catalysis is use of organometallic compound. We studied the many more example. Our second way of catalysis is the photocatalysis. Photocatalysis, now we will talk. Catalysis by using a light or photons. It is also one of the very effective approach towards the synthesis of various chemical compound. We call it as a green synthesis of a chemical compound. So friends, as per as our knowledge about the chemical reactions carried out in industries, the chemical industry releases a number of volatile organic pollutant in the atmosphere, and this volatile organic pollutant causes a huge burden on the environment, and therefore one of the important photocatalyst, that is a titanium oxide TiO2, is used for such a type of control or for such a type of reaction. The TiO2 acts as a photocatalyst and it favors the oxidation, we can say the aerial oxidation of organic pollutant. TiO2 acts as photocatalyst and favors the aerial oxidation of organic pollutants. In fact, TiO2 acts as a semiconductor. It reacts with O2 to generate O2 minus, which absorbs H plus from hydrocarbon to give oxidized product and H2O. It is observed that in a TiO2, in TiO2, the energy gap between HOMO and LUMO is a 3.4 electron volt. The energy gap between HOMO means highest occupied molecular orbital, and LUMO means lowest unoccupied molecular orbital is 3.4 electron volt. In fact, this energy difference is very small. We can draw the energy diagram, energy profile diagram, molecular orbital diagram we can see. Suppose this is your HOMO, highest occupied molecular orbital. It will be the LUMO, lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. These are the electrons. You can see when the photon or light fall on the electron jumps from HOMO to LUMO. Means from highest occupied molecular orbital to lower unoccupied molecular orbital. This energy difference is a 3.4 electron volt. Electron can jump, can promote very easily. This promoted electron, when treated with O2, it gives a corresponding O2 minus. And this O2 minus abstract the H plus from organic pollutant to give the corresponding oxidized product along with the water. And in this way, the TiO2 acts as a photocatalyst and it reduces the organic pollutant from the atmosphere. In fact, the importance and versatile application of a TiO2 as a photocatalyst arises due to its ability to destroy volatile organic component. The importance and versatile application of a TiO2 is due to ability to destroy VOC, means volatile organic component. So it was the mechanism of a photocatalysis. Just record this data. Now the third methodology towards the synthesis of a chemical component by green approach is the use of microwave radiations for the chemical synthesis. Use of microwave radiation, we call it as a microwave technique. Use of microwave technique for organic synthesis. Here the microwave radiations are used, means having a frequency 10 raised to minus 9 to 10 raised to minus 11 hertz. It involves the absorption of microwave radiation, means having a frequency 10 raised to minus 9 to 10 raised to minus 11 hertz. The polar molecule leads to accelerate the rate of reaction. Because the polar molecule will absorb the microwave radiation, goes into the excited state. Obviously, energy will increases and it accelerates the rate of reaction. There are certain advantages of microwave assisted organic reaction. There are certain advantages of a microwave assisted reaction. Very basic advantage is that the reaction is a very quick. The reaction is very quick. Very short time is required for the reaction. It means the prolonged heating or refluxing is not required. Prolonged heating or refluxing is not required. And the most important thing, reaction can be carried out by without any solvent. Solvent-free reaction. A reaction is carried out without any solvent. This is the most important advantage of microwave technique. Our next one means the fourth methodology is the use of ultrasonic for chemical reaction. Now the D part means the fourth technique, use of ultrasonic for a chemical reaction. This particular branch of chemistry, we call it as a sonochemistry. Sonochemistry. In a sonochemistry, waves between 20 to 100 kilohertz in waves between 20 to 100 kilohertz are used. When these waves are allowed to pass through the medium containing a reactant molecule, means through the reaction mixture, so obviously during their propagation, these radiation interact with the molecules, and due to this interaction, the molecule will form a compression and a rarefaction. This compression and rarefaction of a molecule creates a high temperature around a 5000 degrees Celsius and very high pressure locally, means at the place of that molecule. And this very high temperature and high pressure accelerate the rate of reaction. It means that it activate the molecule. So during propagation of waves, it interact with a reactant molecule. The reactant molecule produces compression and rarefaction. The successive compression and rarefaction, the successive compression and rarefaction releases high heat around 5000 degrees Celsius and high pressure, which activate a reactant molecule. And obviously reaction will proceed with a faster rate. Simple phenomenon is there. The waves between 20 to 100 kilohertz, when passes through the medium, it interact with the reactant molecule, and due to their interaction, the reactant molecule will produce a compression and a rarefaction. The successive compression and rarefaction releases a very high heat and creates a high pressure locally, and this high temperature and high pressure will activate the molecule, and the reaction proceed towards the completion very quickly within a very short period of time. So this is also one of the alternative way. So you just record these things. Okay, so student, in the present lecture we studied the 4 different technologies, or you can say the methodologies for the synthesis of a chemical compound. This is a green approach. In the first case, we studied the use of organometallic compound as a catalyst. We studied the 5 to 7 examples. Secondly, we studied the photocatalyst by using a titanium oxide. Next one, microwave radiations are used. We call it as a microwave assisted reactions. These are the certain advantages. And finally, the 4th methodology was the use of ultrasonications in an sonochemistry. So friends, in the present lecture we will stop here. In our next lecture we will start our next topic. Thank you.